Do you remember when Asda's, you might not do, Asda's used to give away little figures with fruit? You get a little kiwi dude. Or you could buy, it was like a little kind of fruit gang.
Alright.
And to encourage people to buy fruit, and for children, they would get a little toy with it, a little miniature figure. And he got the actual kiwi fruit one, he put that up his arse. And then he eventually put a ping pong ball up his arse. And apparently a ping pong ball is almost impossible to get out of your own shitter.
It's alive! Let's show this prehistoric bitch how we do things downtown.
Anyway, welcome to Empire of Geek, and on the show this week we've got returning, he's been away, the return of the king. We've got Florian.
Hello.
It's good to have you back, Florian.
It's good to be back.
We've missed the logic and reason. And Raoul's not here either this week, so there's logic rules supreme at the moment. What have you been up to while you've been away?
Looking after my adorable little girl. And
your baby?
Yeah, my baby. Yeah. Just getting used to the new life. Now that I'm no longer...
Yeah,
well, I'm still a little bit gainfully employed.
But it's changing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is changing.
Things are big changes are afoot.
Indeed, yeah.
That's it. Well, it's good to have you back, and we've missed him, haven't we?
Oh, yeah, we have, definitely.
We've also got Andy on the show.
Hello.
Who? What have you been up to this week, Andy? What's your favourite bit of geek news this week you've heard about?
I've been a little light on the old...
on the geek news front.
Yeah, just trying out some new things and, not obviously got around to it.
What have you been up to lately?
Not a lot.
Because quite recently, I went out with my girlfriend, Lise, and we bumped into a young lady who knew you, didn't she? And she told us about the fact that you never rang her back.
Well, there was a problem with the phone network at that point.
Since that particular day. Also on the show this week, we've got, connected to Andy, and that's that previous story, first time guest, we've got Tara.
Hello.
And Tara, you know Andy because you want to jump his bones. Is that not true?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Come close a few occasions. What stopped it actually happening? The moment.
Oh, I just can't believe it.
Well,
People want to know this. They're interested. You're a public figure now.
Andy's a responsible man, and he had chores to do.
So you just to set the scene.
Just,
I won't tell the story about you. That's an invasion of privacy. But let's imagine a world where a young man goes round to a young lady's house.
Steve.
Action gets initiated.
Steve.
And then he remembers what he's got to do his ironing, and then runs away. That'd be an interesting story, wouldn't it?
Just to some, it may be interesting.
And also on the show, you've got real geek chops as well, because you were married to a geek, weren't you?
Still am.
Yeah, you still are. And it turned out well, didn't it?
Absolutely living the dream.
And we've also got Lisa here, my girlfriend.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
You had a good week here so far this week?
Well, a Tuesday, so not been bad so far.
Good stuff. Okay, we'll go on with the first story. Apparently, it's been released this week that Disney are prepping and ready to start Mary Poppins 2.
This time it's personal?
It's going to be called Helza Poppins. So, it's they actually are going to do it. It's going to be based, I think, on some of the later books.
Well, are they going to get Dick Van Dyke back?
Yes, and get him jumping around.
Yeah. And dancing. Still does it.
What do you think? Do you think that's a good idea? It's one of my favourite films, Mary Poppins. Ever.
Do I ask me whether Mary Poppins 1 was a good idea for
Do you
my
not
boy?
like Mary Poppins?
It's not my cup of tea.
It was quite political. Because there was...
Suffragettes?
What's her name? Mrs. Banks, and Mr. Banks was like, oh, women getting the vote. So...
Because recently the film Finding Mr. Banks, was it Finding Mr. Banks came out, or Finding Mrs. Banks?
I don't know.
Robin Banks. There's something to do. I think it's something Finding...
Saving Mr. Banks?
Saving Mr. Banks.
Is that Beatrix Potter thing?
No, it's the one about...
Fair enough.
Is it PJ Travers who wrote It's Peach.
Oh, it is Mary Poppins,
Pamela
isn't it?
Travers,
And she
yeah.
wouldn't give up the rights.
She thought that Disney would ruin it all.
Yeah.
And so she would literally now be rotating in her grave at the thought of this, because she didn't want them to make any further films after it. Because there's more than one Mary Poppins book. There's Mary Poppins comes back, Mary Poppins won't leave my house,
Mary Poppins demands wages.
Mary Poppins Asbo. Do you think it's a good idea to make a film? Tara, we'll start with you as a new guest. Do you want to see a new Mary Poppins? It won't be Julie Andrews.
No. I think Mary Poppins was good. But then they kind of recently did like a Mary Poppins thing, because they did the whole Nanny McPhee saga, which is basically Mary Poppins. I think now,
but not as good, obviously.
And if you put Poppins to the name of anything, you know, it's not going to have Dick Van Dyke in it. It's not going to have Julie Andrews in it. It's going to be shit.
Do you remember Poppins the restaurants?
Yeah, I do actually.
I remember going to one of my friends' birthday parties there, expecting it to be a Mary Poppins themed restaurant. It wasn't.
Greasy spoon, isn't it?
It was shit. Yes, it was crap. Andy, do you want to see a new Mary Poppins?
Not really.
A harder Mary Poppins.
Harder? What, as
Harder,
in,
tougher.
like,
It'll be a new Mary Poppins.
slapping people about and stuff like
Beating
that.
the kids up, yeah.
Robo Mary Poppins.
No more singing and dancing. Just like backhanded.
I think Mary Poppins was perfect how it was. I think to revisit it is a crime. So I personally don't think they should do it. We watched some trailers before this started, and we're going to talk about some of those films coming out. The first one, which was The Jungle Book, which is a live-action version of The Jungle Book. It's made by Jon Favreau, who brought us the Iron Man films. So what did we think to that trailer? Let's start with Andy.
Yeah, it looks alright. I mean, like I say, I'm not really into stuff like that, so...
For the rest of the show, you're banned from saying it's alright.
Yeah, it looked mediocre.
What did you reckon? Another Disney film.
It's all...
Does it look exciting?
I'm not really a fan of The Jungle Book as it is. It's probably one of my least favourite Disney films. But as well, I'm not really big into taking an animated movie and making it live action. Like Beauty and the Beast is my favourite, and they're doing that as well, and I still sort of think,
They already did. There has been a live action Beauty and the Beast, the TV show with Ron Perlman in, which was quite popular in the 90s. Did you ever see that?
Ron Perlman as the beauty.
Yes, yeah, as the Beast. That was one of his first kind of the roles he kind of got noted for.
And then he
This
did
kind of
Hellboy.
lion-faced, then Hellboy,
Yeah.
Sons of Anarchy, which I'm watching a lot of.
So now Hand of God.
And Hand of God, yeah, which I love a bit of Perlman.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Bit of Perlman in the morning.
You like it, don't you, Lise? You've been getting it. We've been watching lots of Sons of Anarchy lately, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
And you like a bit of Ron Perlman with his big face.
yes.
That's
Do you find him quite attractive?
No.
like a go on clay.
Face creeps me out. I can't get over his face, to be honest.
It's like his jaw's a bit out, isn't
It's
it?
weird.
He's saying physically you can't get over his face and it's just too big.
I just every time he's on the telly, I just got to stare at his mouth and his big jaw and think, what the hell happened?
He's got a unique look.
He has got a unique look, but if you look at some younger pictures of him, he's reasonably handsome. And look, to me, he's got that typical American kind of bucket face, kind of big chin kind of look. I imagine.
But if you want somebody attractive with a big chin, it's Bruce Campbell.
Oh, it's that
Isn't
guy.
it?
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
He's
Doesn't
got
he always play like a
A
if it was
monster.
like an army movie? He'd be like the badass lieutenant.
He's that kind of.
It's
He's,
like a masculine character, isn't it?
do you know what I'd like to see in a film? Because I want to see him, and let me try and remember his name off the top of my head. He played the bad guy in Highlander, the first Highlander film. Clancy Brown. Imagine Clancy Brown versus Ron Perlman in a film. Because they're both tough guys, aren't they?
And they're now both
He's
90,
a man.
yes.
That's the kind of film we want, that kind of pension, the kind of fight off.
Fight back.
I like the look of Jungle Book, to be honest. I think I'd go and see it at the cinema.
The original, as in the animated one, was one of the first, if not the first film I ever saw in the cinema. And I quite liked that. But yeah, I mean, it's completely different, isn't it? Because it's not going to be a lot of singing and dancing in it. It doesn't look like
The kind of, at the end of the trailer that you see Baloo, and he's
they're humming.
bare necessities. If they do have him singing and dancing, it'll ruin it. I think that will break. And admittedly, talking animals is always going to be a bit crap, but I think that will go too far.
Well, he can communicate with the animals, and I think as a conceit that's all right. It's a bit like Dr. Dolittle. If other humans then can hear them as well, then that would be... Sorry?
All the wild thornberries.
Yeah, it was a kids show, and they made a film about it.
Right.
Was it Nigel Thornberry? Can you do a Nigel Thornberry impression?
No.
I'm trying to think what his voice was like. He's got a massive, great big hooter. Nigel Thornberry does, doesn't he?
Who is it? Just the voice. It's what's
Is it
his name?
Tim Curry?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he played Frankenfurter.
Yeah.
Hello.
Tim Curry's done stuff since, you know.
I know, he's done lots of other stuff since. He did Clue. Have you seen Clue? He plays the butler in it. What a great film.
Wasn't he the voice of Hexus? Or whatever it was in...
Texas in...
No, Hexus in the film with the fairy in it.
The film with the fairy in. Oh, Legend. In about he played the big demon in Legend. Is that the one about the Tom Cruise film? Was there a fairy in that?
No, it's an
animation.
film.
Is it the Thornberrys
Fern Gully.
again?
No,
We've not watched Fern Gully, for Christ's sake.
this is why you shouldn't have girls on a podcast, because I don't watch girly movies.
I've put 2 Disney films in already for you.
Anyway, when we get to the another film, there's going to be some crossover.
Yeah. Now, does anyone know what the controversial thing was about the first published version of Rudyard Kipling's Jungle Book?
Was it a bit racist?
There's something about the cover of it. Does anyone know what was deemed... now people look at it and go, that's a bit... Does anyone know?
It's not racist.
It had a bloody great big swastika on it. That's what it was in the middle of it.
Swastika?
Yeah, the very first cover of the Jungle Book had a swastika in the middle of it.
What's that got to do with the Jungle Book?
I think it was to do because it's
in India,
isn't it?
yeah.
And it's the sign of...
Is it a
rebirth in your life.
swastika? Is it the right way around for a swastika?
I don't know if it's the rotated...
There's a Sanskrit symbol, isn't there?
Yeah.
Which is like the other way around, though.
The Nazi one's on
It's got like
Yeah.
dots, isn't it? Like the Indian one.
I don't know if this one does, but yeah, it had a great swastika in the middle of it. But the next film we were looking at was Creed, which is... We spoke about this before on the show. It's going to be a movie about Apollo Creed, who died in Rocky IV, start of it. Got killed by...
Was that the guy?
The Russian guy.
Yeah.
The first guy on the moon?
Yeah. The Apollo Creed landings. And this is
Nobody remembers Nigel Armstrong. Neil Armstrong. Nigel Armstrong is less well-known brother, Nigel.
So I've forgotten my frigging point I was trying to make.
Creed.
So this is about Rocky Balboa
Good thing
coming back, and he's training up the son of his former rival and mate to box.
When you say mates,
They didn't
friends,
start-
yeah, like, okay, good. Yeah.
I'm down with a bit of black on white, ebony and ivory. That's what that song was probably about. That noise is a baby if you're listening at home. Charlie said, what? Never go with strangers? Aww. So yeah, what did you think about that one then? Creed. Does it tickle your pickle?
No.
Not at all?
Not another flippin' Rocky film.
See,
it's pointless, isn't it? It's like watching any movie, I said this before, any movie with the word Titanic in it. You know what's going to happen.
Rocky doesn't win in the first Rocky, and he didn't win in the last Rocky film. In Rocky Balboa, he actually loses at the end of it.
Yeah, but he sort of wins.
But he wins the moral victory.
Yeah.
It's always the...
So what about you? Are you looking for... Because I love Rocky films.
I do like them. Sometimes the stories become a bit weak, though, when you compare it to something like The Fighter, and it's quite...
Oh yeah, things that have come out since then.
And it's sort of, the backgrounds of the characters are really quite interesting. Sometimes on the Rocky films they're a bit too 2D.
I remember you saying to me once that the thing you like most about the Rocky films is the chance to see 2 kind of half-naked, muscly men covered with sweat hammering at each other, banging each other in the ring. That's what...
I know, but I've had therapy for that.
But there's been a lot of boxing films, hasn't there? Because there's like Southpaw or something like that.
Yeah, is that Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah, I've not seen that. Has that just come out?
Is that you pronounce it correctly?
Yeah, it's a Swedish last name. He was on Conan, and he said about it. He was like, somebody knows how to pronounce my last name.
How's
It's
it
Gyllenhaal,
pronounced?
isn't it? How do you pronounce it? Say it a bit louder so we can all hear.
Gyllenhaal.
What a crap name. What about you? Do you want to see two men going at it, Tara?
what about
not in
Creed?
a boxing ring.
So you're not going to be rushing out to see this film?
No, I mean, Sylvester Stallone can barely speak as it is. He shouldn't be making movies anymore.
How dare you?
No, he
I don't
can't.
know. I saw Escape Plan recently because I've got a certain internet providers, not internet providers, a certain internet service where you can watch all sorts of not very good films.
And did you
And
not
that was-
enjoy it?
I watched it. It had
I
Arnold
watched it.
It had Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. Actually, the most interesting thing about the whole film is that there's a scene where he pretends to be like office rocker, which doesn't take a lot of make believe. But he actually speaks in German.
What's like?
Well, Austrian. But
What's?
no. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Yeah, pretends
oh.
to go mad, and he actually speaks in German or Austrian, which is basically the same thing.
I've not seen that film.
Yeah, don't bother. Would be my advice.
I like a bit of Arnie and you can't beat. Was there a reason
I
for
think
it?
it had some funny moments in it, but I mean, not that many, and
I'm
it's very predictable. It's most notable, I suppose, for them two and the guy who plays the good guy in the computer hacky social security number. You know where they go after people who are going to be involved in crime, a bit like
Numbers.
Minority. No. It's oh god. Anyway, I'll come to me later. But he's sort of was an up and coming person, and he's now. So he was the bad guy in that, basically. There you go.
No, well, I'll watch out for that one. Right, the other thing I want to speak about was Fifth Wave, which is coming out soon, and it's based on a hit book, which I've not read. And it's about an attack on Earth and then the response from Earth, the last few humans left. Chloe Moretz is in it. We watched the trailer for it. Are you excited, Florian?
It looked to me a bit like Falling Skies meets Divergent meets potentially something else. But I don't know, it's maybe not that original. It looks a bit derivative. And Falling Skies is very good in that it actually starts after the apocalypse basically has happened and Earth, humanity is basically already lost. And there's like a few survivors left. And so it looked a bit too clean, in the aftermath of like worldwide destruction, basically. So I don't know. Not that excited.
Sort of making eyes at Andy while Florian is giving us his opinion on the
Making eyes
film.
at both of us.
You are a bad man. And can you take your hand from out of your trouser leg?
It's my leg, it's not down the top of it.
I've heard the rumours about you. You're a filthy animal, you are. This is why you're sat in the corner at the moment. You can't be trusted.
No, I just want to sit on the poof, because...
Rob's not here. No, I don't want you getting yourself all aroused and then having to run away and do some ironing.
It's not Sunday.
Yes, it looks generic. So are you, Tara, were you excited by that Fifth Wave film?
Excited is a strong term, which I wouldn't.
Were you even asked to see it?
If somebody put it on, I'd pay attention to it, but I wouldn't choose to go out and watch it.
Yeah, I felt it just felt very generic, and that's something that I've seen before, which isn't always a bad thing. Something being generic, because I like sci-fi films, but I don't know. I didn't see anything in the trailer that made me want to see it. To be fair, other than the description of these different waves, they take the power out, they destroy the cities, and then at the end it says they're attacking the last people in these metropolitan areas, and I was thinking, haven't they already destroyed where everyone lives?
Yeah.
So
the other thing is, there's a great big mothership type hovering over the Earth, and you know exactly what's going to happen. They're going to find their way on there, and they're going to destroy it. And it's like Independence Day in that sense. It's like...
You ruined it for me now.
was that a point you were going to make?
You haven't seen Independence Day yet?
No, I've
No,
seen
okay.
Independence Day.
They're making
Okay.
a sequel. That's one of the things that's been announced.
So Independence Day?
Yeah, the sequel to it.
It was on telly the other night.
You know what? The sequel I would really like to see is to District 9.
Yes, there, because it was a bloody good film.
Yeah.
It
But
was
unfortunately...
Chappie was shit, everyone keeps saying now. I think you said Chappie was shit.
No, I didn't. I haven't seen it yet. So
Who told me that Chappie's a load of crap? I can't remember now. I didn't.
it's sort of a trilogy, isn't it? It's sort of District 9, Chappie, and the one where
Elysium.
Elysium, yeah.
I liked Elysium. I thought that was quite cool,
I haven't seen that either.
to be honest.
Got
Right.
lots of catching up to do.
One of the things that just was mentioned or just came out the other day was about this chap called George Perez Higuera, I think his name is. He's a photographer, obviously a big Star Wars fan, and he's begun releasing images of stormtroopers doing mundane tasks like going shopping,
Ironing?
ironing, having a jacuzzi together, running away from girls' houses. The norm. We're a family-friendly podcast, no swearing.
I didn't swear.
Don't you mouth obscenities towards me. I really like this, and he said he's going to keep doing it until the new Star Wars film comes out. Obviously, because he wants them to pay lots of money for, to get on board with it. But I don't mind that. What did you think? What did you think of it? What do you think of it, Andy?
What, of stormtroopers doing everyday things?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's sort of,
You take all the magic out of it, to be honest.
No, but that's essentially...
Stormtroopers doing everyday things.
No, I was just checking that was on the right lines.
What other lines were there?
Well, I don't know if you're being cryptic and meaning something else. Like it's an analogy for...
A euphemism.
Yeah. Yeah, that's alright. I mean,
Oh, for God's sake.
No, it's good to know they're human. I suppose they're not human, are they?
They are human, yeah.
They're clones.
No, they're not cloned. Well, it depends. You have to see the new film, but in the old Star Wars canon thing...
Can they think for themselves, though? Like,
They're docile, but they're supposed to be docile, aren't they? After Phantom Menace.
Yeah, what happens
They're
is...
cloned from Boba Fett.
They make the clones, and then in the old storyline, they eventually started bringing in recruits, and they phased out the clones on account of that Han Solo, in his original backstory, was a member of kind of the Imperial Academy, and he screwed up and he got injured someone dicking about or something and had to run away. So the stormtroopers aren't all clones. Otherwise, they would all be the same size.
Yes, and of course, Princess Leia would not say, "Aren't you a little short for a
Short for a stormtrooper. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Aren't you a little bit my brother to kiss you?" Oh no, never mind.
Bit of incest.
Hey. I don't know why I said "hey" there. Clearly not, because they're actors.
German, it's okay. Right, what did Tara? What do you think of those? Do you like pictures of men with shiny helmets?
I do enjoy.
And has
shiny
Andy
helmet.
stopped sending you messages via text with pictures?
I do enjoy a shiny helmet.
Look at you shaking your head. Did you like them? Did you like the pictures? Are you a big Star Wars fan?
No,
Do girls dig Star Wars?
I've watched
Some do.
most of the films, I think, and they were okay, but it was a bit of a yawn fest, to be honest. There's 6 of them.
The front door, Jesus.
Get out!
I watched the first one, which was the 4th one. The one with the guy with the red
A
and
New
black
Hope.
face.
What?
You mean Phantom Menace? That's the first one.
That is the first one.
The first one.
Yeah. That's not real Star Wars.
I
See?
saw that for my
Even
11th
Ashley knows
birthday.
that isn't really
It's a bit weak sauce, that one there.
She
I
hates
don't
it when you
know.
mention the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
The good thing about it is Darth Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn is pretty cool in it. And it sets up that nice cycle of
I like Liam Neeson.
the start of each trilogy, a master dies and an apprentice kind of rises up.
The Clone Wars was good, though. That was the next one, wasn't it?
I like the Clone Wars,
Yeah.
and I like Revenge of the Sith, but it was too little too late as far as the fans were concerned.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Revenge of the Sith. Did you not like Revenge of the Sith?
What happened in it? Which one had the teddy bears in it?
That was Return of the Jedi. The Ewoks. The reason they're Ewoks is they wanted it to be originally wanted it to be a planet of Wookiees, but
Unless
I
you're
don't think-
thinking of a completely different film with actual teddy bears in it. I was thinking of
Ted.
Ted.
Yeah.
No, I've not seen that because he sounds a bit annoying.
It's Seth Rogen, isn't it? Or something.
That would be why it sounds annoying.
It's
It is,
yeah, Seth Rogen. Isn't it? No, is it Seth Rogen?
Oh, no.
No, it's the creator of
MacFarlane.
American
Seth
Dad, isn't it?
MacFarlane, yeah. They were going to have. They're apparently going to have Wookiees originally, but they couldn't afford to make all the Wookiee suits, so they got a few midgets in and covered them with fur. They don't actually call them Ewoks in the film. It was later on that they became known as Ewoks in the expanded.
Warwick Davis.
Warwick Davis played Wicket W. Warwick, who eventually replaces Chief Chirper and becomes the head of the tribe.
I love Life's Too Short ones.
Do you ever see Willow?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's a film that never gets shown on telly enough. I've never seen it shown on telly for years and years.
If it turns up on film 4, it'll be on there for quite a while.
I fucking loved Willow.
Every other film.
Mad Martigan, played by a thin Val Kilmer, not big, not big fridge face Val Kilmer that we've got now. Yeah, I like this. So I would say, Empire of Geek listeners, go and check it out. Then that's George Perez Higuera. I think if you just put in Stormtroopers Daily Mirror, you'll probably be able to find it. Now, the other thing we were talking about was a comic book series. We got a message today on our Twitter by a chap who wanted us to talk about his comic book series, which is all about the American West. I did a little bit of research into the geezer, who, give me one moment, is the chap's name is James A. Brettney, and he's a guy who was in the army, and he was in the Iraq War, and he became a filmmaker, and he's got into comic books. And the new comic book that he's wanting people to look at is called Up the Trail. There's you can imagine Frankie Howerd in something like that, but it's based on an original story from a real life cowboy, Andy Adams, in his 1903 bestseller Log of a Cowboy. Andy Adams, however, this isn't his real. He wasn't an actual cowboy. This is his fictionalised account of a real cowboy, but it is regarded as the most realistic story about a cowboy's life. But I did a bit of research. Andy Adams, he hated all these fictionalised depictions of cowboys, and so Log of a Cowboy was written to try and show the real version of it. And we looked at some of the artwork, didn't we, for this, which
Yes.
James Brettney has got out, and it looks quite cool, doesn't it?
It is, yeah, a lot of detail.
Yeah, it looks really nice. Something says art by Jack Zetkov, and there's a few other names in there. But what I like about this, and I looked a bit more into Mr. Brettney, and he did a comic book a while back. He edited it based on the Kursk, the sinking of the submarine which got sunk, and then the Russians wouldn't accept help to get the submariners out of it, and they all ultimately died, didn't they?
Yeah.
And the reviews of this Kursk comic book all talk about the fact that they said it's like kind of soap opera in as much as that it deals with the families that are left behind, the people on the submarine. I like the idea that comic books aren't just about superheroes; they're actually telling, sometimes real life stories or real-ish accounts. Do you not think that's a good idea?
Yes.
Yes. Don't be the new Andy. No, so I want you all to go and have a look at it. It's okay.
It's okay.
If you
I'm
want
going to do some ironing. I'm going to do some ironing.
If you want to check it out, a bit more about that, you can go to airborneproductionsinc.blogspot.com and you can find out all about it there. It looks like a really good idea. If you're into your old western cowboys, it's certainly something you want to have a look at. And also from there, you should be able to find out about the Kursk comic book, which I particularly that's something I'd want to look at. I just like the idea of a true story being told. Do you like the idea of people trapped in a submarine? This comic book?
Not in real life, but
Unfortunately, it was though. But.
I feel like it would be quite a short-lived comic book. There's only so much air and food, and you
They don't just deal with them; they deal with the lives.
That's very
as well.
interesting. If they did it as like a TV show, the Kursk, season 1, at the end everybody dies. Season 2,
they're still dead.
They're still dead.
I hope none of our listeners Now, what I like about this, one of my favourite comic books is Mouse. You ever seen Mouse?
Oh yeah.
Art Spiegelman.
Yeah.
Comics about real
Fantastic.
people's
Yeah.
experiences are good, and these sound like that's the kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think it lifts comic books to new heights. That's what I like about it.
But Mouse is sort of half and half, isn't it? Because it's the story of his dad,
Yes.
but as told through the eyes of a
The Jews are mice.
Yeah, Jews are mice.
Americans are bulldogs. Nazis are cats. Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, I liked it. Which leads us on to this and this is what you've all been waiting for, and know the people at home are, Ultimo Geek. Andy's still in the lead. Rob was hot on your heels, wasn't he? But you destroyed him last episode.
I did, yeah, with some blinding geek knowledge.
Now you've been away for a bit, Florian, because when you were last here, you were catching up.
Yes.
Tara, this will be your first ever go at Ultimo Geek. If you win this, you're only like one win away from being equal with Paul Justin. So we'll play this now. Now this week's episode of Ultimo Geek is all about taglines for films. I'm going to give you a famous tagline, and then I'll name 4 films, and you need to tell me which film is the tagline from. Andy, you need to put your phone away, you cheat. You've been spotted before.
I haven't. Oh, I'm not.
Play along at home.
Have you translated them into German as well? So that
How did you know? No, I haven't, unfortunately.
No.
Right, so you'll understand the rules. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do thumbs count?
Thumbs don't count. You signal it this way. One.
What?
You stick
what
one
if
finger
you
up.
show you one, and then when you find out the answer, you tell you that you were holding
The Rob technique. You know, that doesn't count. Okay, question 1 then. This is the tagline. His fear began when he woke up alone. His terror began when he realised he wasn't. Is that Dawn of the Dead, 28 Days Later, Evil Dead 3, or Sleepless in Seattle?
Oh, I so wanted to be Sleepless in Seattle.
You spelled Seattle wrong.
I know, I always like to put one in.
Oh,
Gives
it's
Florian,
Seattle. Yeah.
Seattle.
it gives Florian a chance to correct a spelling,
Oh no, it's fine.
and he feels good about himself. Which do you think it is then? Dawn of the Dead, number 1, number 2, 28 Days Later, number 3, Evil Dead 3, or 4, Sleepless in Seattle. So, you're just swearing at me, aren't you, Florian?
Yeah, just like that.
What are you going with? And the answer is 28 Days Later. Well done, Florian. 1 point to you. This could be your
I
day.
hate
This could be your night.
films.
Laws of thermodynamics. Nerdist do a thing on science, and they get a guy to discuss the science of zombies. I've not probably watched it yet, but I think if I do watch it,
Did the studio catch spontaneously on fire? And the
your
equipment
face
come back?
appeared in the flames. Oddly enough. Right, Getting Back was only the beginning. Is that 1, The Time Machine, 2, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, 3, Time Cop, or 4, Back to the Future 2? Which one of them? Let's have your... So that's Getting Back was only the beginning. What the hell are you doing, Andy, with your hand gestures? And Tara and Florian are correct. It's Back to the Future 2.
Oh,
I got
of
one!
course. 1884. The Doc's still alive.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
So it's 2 points to Florian, 1 point to Tara.
Dude, shit.
We Are Not Alone. Is that Close Encounters of the Third Kind? 2, Alien. 3, The Day the Earth Stood Still. Or 4, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Which one are you going with, ladies and gents? That's We Are Not Alone. Thanks, Florian. Are you sniffing your fingers? Is that the same hand you had up your trouser leg? You're a dirty man. And the answer is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Well done, Florian.
Oh,
You are 3 for 3 at the moment.
You're giving her the
Oh,
answers.
everybody is. Do you know what Alien the tagline is for? In space?
No one can do your ironing.
No one can make porridge. That's right.
An airlock opens. A single man goes running out. Sorry, Ripley, I've got loads of ironing to do on my other spaceship.
I know we don't get there until like 38,000 years from now, but...
But next one is Be Ready to Believe Us. Is it 1, The X-Files, 2, The Last Mimsy, 3, Batteries Not Included, or 4, Ghostbusters 2? Can you just turn your hand, turn that, I know it's hard for you with that slightly limp wrist, Andy. Right, I've got your answer. And the correct answer is Ghostbusters 2. Tara and Florian are in... Oh no, it's not.
No,
You're one behind. You were correct, yes, but you're so far out of the picture at the moment. I'm not even counting your scores.
Yeah, but what's Florian on? 5 or something? 4?
Florian is on 4, Tara's on
3.
3, and you are on 1.
The fight back.
Next one, Everybody Runs. Is it 1, Logan's Run, 2, Minority Report, 3, The Running Man, or 4, Men in Black? So that's everybody runs.
Oh, hang on. I can't do that without my thumb. Oh, damn it. There we go.
And the answer is the Minority Report.
Ooh.
Tara, you are equal with Florian now.
Well done.
And you also got that correct. You've got 2 points
Don't
now.
have any trouble, Florian.
Oh, I'm really angry when I lose this. And he spelled everybody wrong on the previous line.
There's another one. You don't get any points for that. You smart ass shit. Okay, then the next one is their thoughts can kill. Is it 1, Village of the Damned, 2, The Lawnmower Man, 3, Scanners, or 4, Spaceballs?
I've not even heard of half of those.
Right, I've got your answer. Can you show me? Oh, I've got your answer. Come on, Tara, I've got to rush you for a... And the answer is Scanners.
Oh,
And he
I thought it
puts
was
3 points
either that.
to you.
You know why I went for Village of the Damned?
Because
of the exclamation mark.
Oh, I thought it's because in the storyline of Village of the Damned, you got those 3 kids who can see inside your mind. They can kill you and say,
It was
"Think of a brick wall."
I knew it was either Scanners or Village of the Damned because that Lawnmower Man is one person and there is, but
You're too clever by half.
Spaceballs is quite funny.
Next question then. At the end of the universe lies the beginning of vengeance. Is that 1, Transformers, 2, Star Trek The Wrath of Khan, 3, Guardians of the Galaxy, or 4, Star Wars Revenge of the Sith? So at the end of the universe lies the beginning of vengeance. You're just openly swearing at me, not even trying to. What do you reckon then, Tara? Good Lord, Tara, you've got it right. It's Star Trek The Wrath of Khan.
Why?
I didn't know the tagline.
Star Trek's better than Star Wars.
So,
It is.
Tara, you are in the lead now by 2 points.
Oh!
Next one. Man is the warmest place to hide. Is it 1, The Thing, 2, Alien, 3, Species, or 4, the John Travolta story? Which of those do you go with?
the warmest place to hide.
Man is the warmest place to hide.
Is that not Brokeback Mountain?
John Travolta story. I need to swallow that.
1, The Thing, 2, Alien, 3, Species, or 4, the John Travolta story.
That's libel.
And have we got your answer?
Uh,
And you're going with Species. The answer is The Thing.
Yeah.
So you both get a point. And I do believe
John Carpenter.
that you are still in the lead, Tara, by 2 points.
Yeah.
Wicca Wicca Wow Wow.
Fight the Future. 1, Wiki Wow Wow West. 2, War Games. 3, X-Files. Or 4, Total Recall. Lisa, can you put your phone down, please? I do believe there's some chicanery has been going on.
I'm playing The Sims.
I'm going to disqualify you and give Florian the win if I believe that...
So it's fine.
Just put your phone down.
I was trying to get The Sims on, but...
If I find out you've been cheating, Tara, I will not be very happy.
Tara's such a good liar. I mean, you wouldn't ever.
You are officially disqualified. You are the new leader at the moment.
She's like a run of about 5, 6
I thought you're doing very well for someone who doesn't know half the films. So, Florian,
I did get some of them, but I was...
well, too bad, you're a cheater, so you've been disqualified.
I didn't ask, she just
That's the
started.
first ever disqualification in the show's history. So what do you reckon? You think it's
I'm going to...
War Games?
3. Oh, yeah, I'm going to...
And what are you going with? The answer is the X-Files.
Yes. Oh,
And he gets a point. And that is the end of Ultimo Geek. Florian is the winner because you're a cheat. You shit.
I won't admit to anything.
Right, we're going to do Comic of the Week and then we're going to talk about the convention of the week. Comic of the Week is called Justice Guardians, and I've met the chap who does this in Lincoln, where we happen to live.
Is that this?
They do a thing at... What's the name of the place it's held at, Lise? Is it the Circle?
Tokyo Circle.
Tokyo Circles, which is like a nightclub.
No, it was Tokyo.
It
now
was.
It's Circle.
The name changes a lot. At the start of every month, they do a thing called the night market, which you go along and you can buy comic books, artwork, just cool stuff there. And I went there and I met this guy. His name's Steve Sharp. And if you want to follow him, he's on Twitter as Steve Sharp 707. Or you go to Sharp Design. That's Sharp with an E at the end. design.blogspot.co.uk. Or Stephen Sharp with a ph.tumblr.com. And see some of his stuff, and he does Justice Guardians. Now I bought the first 3 issues of this, and it tells a story of a girl called Jess, who she lives in a world where superheroes did exist. There was a big battle, and the superheroes left, and all the supervillains seemingly did as well. And she daydreams about being a superhero, and within the first story, she gets caught up inadvertently by some robots who are robbing a bank, and she gets taken back to their lair and meets a clone of the evil Dr. Gyro, who was the big supervillain back in the day. And she inadvertently discovers that one of the heroes, the Djinn, is not just a bottle of gin that she drinks and gets pissed and vomits everywhere. This kind of genie type character is alive and in stasis, and then she also gains powers of her own. And so the story, across the 3 comic books I've read, follows her gaining powers and her starting to meet the other members of the Justice Guardians. Now, Florian, I'll let you have a quick read of it. What did you make of it?
Yeah, it's very good. It's all right.
It's all right, isn't it?
No, I liked it. It's the style in which it's drawn. You're quite right. It's akin to, or very similar to, the Tracy Beaker sort of. It's sort of slightly elongated.
Yeah, like Nick Sharratt, the guy who does the Tracy Beaker things. It's not
It's
exactly the
just
same, but it
No.
looks...
There's something in it. I mean, if you look at something, then you've got to draw a parallel to something else.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that if ever Steve Sharp listens, if I say when I put my comic book out, and if say someone else reviewed it and they said his work looks just like this, I'd be like,
yeah, no, absolutely.
It's the biggest insult in the world.
It's just you compare it automatically, don't you?
Yeah, not in this way.
It's good.
It's not copied. It's different, but it looks.
And my God, it's very different from Tracy Beaker. So
it is. Yeah. I really like it. When I bought it off him, he went, don't judge me by just the first book. And his art does improve, but he's already pretty polished in the first one. I thought it looked good. Are you having a quick look at it now, Tara?
I only looked at the first ones now to see the difference.
I'm going to say the first one begins with a kind of very generic getting power story. As it goes on, by the third one, you're starting to get a feel of the characters. For example, the other members of the Justice Guardians turn up. One's the Grim Reaper, who turns out to be a woman who can basically all of her skin and muscle kind of evaporates away or just disappears, and she turns into the Grim Reaper, and there's this big Yeti type monster. And you start to get a feel for the characters in it and how they interplay off each other. And you also discover that Jess's father is this. He's I think he's either a policeman or he's an ex-reporter, or a reporter or an ex-policeman, something like that, who's kind of looking into it as well, and a grandfather is as well. So the story starts building up. It starts quite simplistic and then starts to add to it. And by the third comic, I was thinking, God damn it, Steve Sharp, bring out the next ones. Luckily enough, I think up to issue 5 or 6 is online at the moment. So I liked it. The colourful. He doesn't try and ape American comic book styles, which sometimes I've seen people do that and it looks shit. I'd much rather people found their own voice for it. What do you think of it, Tara?
I like it. Though I think the English needs polishing in it.
Yeah, there's a few spelling mistakes in the first one, which on the very first page there's a spelling mistake in there. But that's minor things. Admittedly, you could argue you should get them checked. It is a minor thing,
but it's the kind of thing that bugs me.
So,
when he said "might of" instead of "might have," that bugs me as well.
Look at the grammar.
It's just something that I pick up on, and when you're picking up on stuff like that, it detracts from what you're reading.
That is a good point. We always try and be positive, and there's a lot to be positive about this.
I did like it. It's just if I had to pick something, that'd be it.
Well, that's a good point, you evil bitch. So
that
you should come to us. Was it you evil bitch?
Yeah.
Oh, my trousers need pressing. I'll see you soon. Sorry, did you get a chance to have a look at it, Andy?
No, I didn't really get a chance. But
Is that
I
because
don't
you're
have
too
a
busy
corgi
staring at
trouser.
Florian's baby?
Sorry,
You don't have what, sorry? You don't have...
a corgi trouser press.
No, you don't. I've taken my corgi trouser to pieces and I can't put it back together again. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to definitely go online and read more of them. Part of me, though, I like physical holding a comic book in my hand. There's something about
I agree.
cracking the spine and reading a book. No, I enjoyed them.
Tangible.
Really great. I like the visuals to it. It colours them well. The storyline's good. Like Tara said, spelling, he needs to look at that one. That's why I get my sister to proofread the shit out of all my stuff. And then, because I hate the idea of someone like you going, imagine that you spent all this time on something and someone goes, you've used the wrong version of there. You'd be like, no!
Reprint it all.
Yeah, but and you know what? He's a bloody nice guy, Steve Sharp is. I was saying to Florian beforehand that I might not be the best person to judge it, because once I've met someone and I like them, I automatically start to like their work more. Whereas when I meet someone and I think they're a dick, I go off their work completely and can find very little to like about it.
I agree with that, though. I find that about musicians. I find nothing more of a turn-off when artists sort of at length spout about their creations, unless it's something really worthwhile doing. It's just, I hate that.
What about Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son? Spout shit, has done nothing of note. I cannot fucking stand him. If he now invents the greatest thing ever, which all of us need to use, I will still not like it. Even if deep down I know it is the best thing ever, because he's such a pretentious little shit.
What's he do? He just bigs himself
Well,
up.
they both are, aren't they? Both the Smith kids.
Yeah, it's so annoying because Will Smith, everyone loves him. He's the acceptable black man, isn't he, really?
Yeah.
As far as it goes.
Yeah, now that Thingy is no longer on the scene for that.
Michael Jackson.
No, well, Michael Jackson or sitcom.
Oh, Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
Well, he went from being acceptable, everyone's favourite black dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fell hard. Yeah, I'm not saying that that Jaden Smith is a serial drugger and rapist like Bill Cosby. He's just annoying.
All he did was Karate Kid, didn't he?
And After Earth.
Yeah, which I don't think we'll be seeing a sequel to that anytime soon.
No.
People, I didn't watch After Earth, but people who did see it said that they went there expecting a Will Smith film, and they just found some whiny little talentless shit running around with Will Smith. And they felt cheated.
Well, the father-son in the film.
Yes,
Yeah,
they play father.
the dad
Surprising that.
Will Smith's character basically gets injured, and his son has to go out and basically do the thing by himself, put a transmitter on the mountain or something like that.
And no one wanted that, did they?
No.
They wanted Will Smith being funny. Do you know what would not surprise me, but I would be disgusted if they did it? Imagine this, that they announced tomorrow they're going to do a new series of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with Jaden Smith in it. Would that not be the worst thing in the whole world?
Are they thinking about doing Fresh Prince?
No. Well,
remake?
is it... Oh, what's his name? Avery. I was confusing with Captain Sisko. Avery Brooks played him. The guy who played the dad's dead now, isn't he? Uncle Phil died recently.
Yeah, all right.
So he went back.
Yeah,
and you mentioned earlier that when we watched Creed, you thought it was Will Smith's mum from...
Yeah, I thought it was. I might be wrong.
No, it could be because two different women played his mum.
Hmm.
Because the first one fell out with Will Smith and they changed her. And they even mention it in one of the episodes of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where somebody says, you look a little bit different. And then the audience goes,
Yeah, they did the same thing in Roseanne when they changed the system.
Oh, yeah. Becky, they changed.
And then
Not Becky, the other one.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Anyway, they sit in front of the television and they say, "Oh, I hate it when they change characters." Just and expect the audience to buy it.
Did you ever see the last episode of Roseanne?
I probably did, but I can't remember.
We discovered that the whole last season it was all she'd made it up, and that Dan had died of a heart attack, and that it was all she'd in her head the whole last season of the show was how she would have liked things to have gone.
Lovely. It's like, did they not learn from Dallas? Jesus.
Wake up in the shower.
Wake up in
Bobby
the shower.
Ewan.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the point. Comic of the week. I will wholeheartedly suggest you look it up and read it. It's good. Check him out on the internet, see the latest stuff. I love his style, and he's a bloody nice bloke to boot as well. And if you want to meet him in person and assassinate him, then his comic books become more kind of
valuable,
don't they? He'll be at the night market, the first... imagine if someone killed him now.
And you'd never get the next copy.
Oh yeah, Robert Jordan.
But the three I've got... Oh yeah, Wheel of Time.
Mm.
That's exactly what's going to happen with Game of Thrones, isn't it? He's going to carve it.
As the author of Amtrak Wars also died before we finished it off. Patrick... I can't remember. I read like the first 3 books and then I realised that he wasn't going to finish it off on account of being dead.
Apparently Sean Connery's not very well. Or not been very well for quite a while as well.
Well, that's a
He
shame.
didn't write books though, does he?
No, he just beats women up. But they were saying
That doesn't
that...
pay tax.
I was reading, but then goes on about being Scottish, and it's
Yeah.
like, you don't even think live in Scotland.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
I was reading today that they're on about that they wanted to get him into, Skyfall,
Yeah.
the previous James Bond film. They wanted to get him in it and play the kind of the butler at the groundsman at Skyfall. But originally, the plan was that he was going to work there, and that Skyfall would be like a retirement place for ex-agents. So it could have set up the idea that James Bond is just it's a name that's given to people.
Oh, like the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yes, yeah, exactly like the Dread Pirate Roberts, and it's a name passed on. I don't know if they would have done that in the film, but when I read the article, would that not be kick-ass? If they get you, it goes in there and you got Roger Moore, Sean Connery, George Lazenby, who no one talks to, Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan. That'd have been amazing if they're all there, like an old folks home. It'd be brilliant. Now, I don't know if that's what they're going with, but in my head, the first time I ever heard that theory was I used to go to a fencing club, and there was a very strange ginger man who went there. It was with swords, not putting fences up. No, it wasn't Andy. It was a guy. It was a young guy called Gordon, and any young person called Gordon always should be treated with suspicion. Some waving over each other. And he was young, but he wore a leather jacket that looked to me like it belonged to a 40-year-old man, and he styled his hair in a very kind of... It was slicked back ginger, which is never a really good look. And he used to wear very dark aviator shades, even indoors. I remember him saying to me, going, well, I've worked out James Bond. James Bond actually is a code name. And they just passed it on from each other. So Roger Moore was James Bond. Sean Connery was James Bond. They're all just different names. It's the code name.
He wasn't called Johnny, was he?
He wasn't called Johnny. But I said, then why does he need the name? Then why does he need the code name 007? If the name is... He was like, that's just another name, isn't it, for it? He was like, you've not thought this through, have you ginger twat? But yeah. So anyway, Comic of the Week, Justice Guardians, which leads me on to the final part, and that is, we're going to talk about the convention of the week, and me and Lisa over there are going to this. This is the Lakes International Comic Art Festival. It's in Kendal from the 11th of August 2015 to the...
11th of August?
Yeah, it starts on the 11th, but the actual Comic Art Festival that we're going to is the 16th to the 18th. So there's going to be stuff in Kendal, as well as a mint cake, and then they're going to have the actual convention on the Friday to the Sunday, and we're off to that convention,
What
aren't
month
we?
is it?
Oh,
It's September now.
God damn it, I've done it again. Have we booked to go there?
I was going to say, that's a long time for a festival.
I thought it was
All the way through
2016
August and
you were
September.
talking about.
Oh no, it's the 16th to the 18th of October, isn't it? Yeah, thank God for that. Jesus Christ. Do you know, I've done that before though. I planned to go to a convention, it had happened a month before. In fact, I had to
Dates are so confusing.
I had to redo, not last show, the show before, the whole Convention of the Week thing. I talked about I was going to go to it. It was the pissing month before, wasn't it? There's Lincoln Comic Cons this weekend coming up, which we're going to that, aren't we, Lise?
Yeah.
And this is... Sorry, I just lied my arse off then to you inadvertently, though. 16th to the 18th of October 2015. Oh, my God. Yeah. So that's going to be in Kendal, and that's for the Lakes International Comic Art Festival. Let me just click on it. I'm just terrified that we've got the wrong day and we've
It
booked...
says there, 16th and 18th October.
Good. Because they do talk about the Toronto Comic Art Festival, first of all. Now... Normally we'd tell you some of the people that are on there, but there's so much going on. Brian Talbot's going to be there. The people from Viz are going to be there. There's going to be loads of talks. So I would suggest you go and look on their website to find out more about it. And you can find that at... Let me click on their website and tell you. So I'd suggest you go and look at it and find out a bit more about it. Anyway, as I said, so that's go to comicartfestival.com to find out more about it. Look up the guide to what's on, because it's too much for me to tell you about. There's going to be a bunch of guests, and it looks brilliant. Shall we all say goodbye now, while the child cries? Oh.
It'll stop again.
Sorry. Anyway, goodbye from me, Steve. Goodbye, Florian.
Goodbye.
Tara.
Goodbye.
Lisa.
Goodbye.
Andy.
All right, goodbye.
I'll see you all next week. Goodbye.
ghastly.